Welcome. It's for the Badge Podcast. We are back with another episode. This time we're taking a look at the Champions League match week gone by, and we'll do a little preview of the upcoming Premier League games as well. Go ahead and get started with Manchester City. We'll get them out of the way, just because, again, it's at home, and they
Right.
should be winning this game. But interestingly enough, even though yes, they should be winning this game, Pep did not sit everybody. He did not
Right.
really play a weakened team. I mean, he sat KDB and Foden, so that's obviously I get that they should be rested, two of the best, but that didn't matter at all. Didn't matter at all.
Right.
Um, and again, no Rodrigo, so Gundogan comes in, and I remember me and you were talking about Gundogan's qualities and whether you'd take him over Kovacic in a combined 11. But he's got the armband. You know, it's a different it's a different offer than Rodrigo, obviously. But again, they didn't have to play much defense against United, and I doubt they were expecting to play much defense against Copenhagen at
Right.
home.
Right.
I do think he's like not underrated, but under celebrated just because of the stardom around him. He did score the two game winning goals late versus Palace a couple of years ago for the title to steal the title right at the end. I mean, he's got the quality, that's for sure. That's for sure. Um,
I mean, yeah, he's very much so another huge piece of the puzzle. Like we've already talked about the quality that he brings to the table. Thing is, when you pair him up with somebody like Kevin De Bruyne, that truly is what makes City absolutely excel into that. You have a good midfield in the
Not to
Premier League.
mention Bernardo Silva.
Oh yeah, we're not right.
No,
It's just piece after piece that Pep's put together, and a couple of these guys are going to need rest. That's to be given. They have a huge season coming up, especially with the World Cup being right smack dab in the middle of it. So, I think it was I can't remember the exact figure that we talked about before we started all this, but it was some if they make it to the finals in every one of these tournaments that we have coming up and every one of these in-house domestic cups and European cups. It was like some 92 games or something like that for the season. That's
jeez.
adding the world. That's adding the World Cup through the qualifiers, through
Yeah.
through everything that they've had to go
Jesus,
through.
man.
It was something
That
astronomical.
is
Like I will
nuts.
get that exact figure. Like I cannot remember where I looked it up, but I
That's
just
crazy.
thought not too late long ago. But I will get these. It's something astronomical like that. I mean,
That's wild.
but like so
Well,
I
they're trying
understand.
to jam all the group stage from Europa and Champions League before the World Cup.
Right, right. So it's just back after back after back
Uh,
after back, and I understand not sitting. I understand the lineup he put out. It's just he has such a strong squad, and the depth of that squad, it's going to go far no matter. It just goes to show that there's another side to City that a lot of people like. They have the depth. If someone does go down, if someone does have a weeks to sit, they'll just shift over. I
I
mean,
just feel like they've got it figured out in every spot.
right. I
It
mean,
must be said, man. Yeah, go ahead.
Pep's fired on all cylinders, man. He's no joke. He's had the time. He's had the time and he's had the money.
Yep.
And he's had the ability to promise these guys, hey, we're playing in these cups. We're playing for finals.
It's
We're
time to
going to
win
be
though.
right.
Got to win.
But but it's to some of these guys to come in and to win at City like that now that's something to be sought after if you're one of those like trophy hunting players. Our second
Yeah,
Champions League
absolutely.
was amazing, but it will never top what we did in 2012. For those boys to bring that first one to London,
Yeah.
that was something to be sought after. So now that that's done, who's going to win Pep Guardiola his Champions League? Like these
Oh,
players love him. These players want to bring in
who you
people.
think? Who you think? He got two more goals in this game. It's a 5-0. We're gonna
Right,
take him off at halftime to keep it from getting too bad.
right.
Whoops. No.
Yep.
But yeah, like you say, who's gonna do it? Who can beat this team? And I don't actually think it's about stopping Holland anymore because you're not going to.
No.
Who's going to score more goals than them?
Yeah.
It's not going to be Southampton on Saturday when they come to the Etihad. It's just going to be another bloodbath, man. Southampton have not been great this season, and they're going to have to absolutely bring it to even make it look respectable. You think
It's
Pep plays another weekend team?
do I think he plays another?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Pep Guardiola is going after something he promised City a long time ago. He's gonna win. He's gunning. Like
I mean,
I hope y'all stay. I hope y'all stay where the way you're playing because he's gunning. I don't think they're gonna drop many points this season. I don't think they're gonna take many losses. If it's drop points, it's gonna be their draw.
God, I hope they don't go unbeaten. That'll just, so gross.
I mean,
It's
it would
so
be.
gross, man.
I just don't see any of us. I just don't see the way y'all are firing. Chelsea's building. We're building our momentum. We're bringing it in. We're just now getting the ball rolling. Liverpool still kind of stumbling, still not showing themselves. Don't have a glue.
Yeah.
No one's really gonna smack. No one has the. I mean, we talked about it last week. No one has the ability just to reach up and just absolutely blow to blow in that manner with City right now. With the way y'all we're all playing, y'all are the best bet, and y'all are on the top of the table because of that.
Yeah, and Arsenal fans are still skeptical.
I
Or at least
mean,
they should be. I mean,
they
we're
should
riding
be
high. We're riding high. Obviously, riding high. We believe in the team. We're behind the team. We're behind the manager for sure. But
right.
we got to keep it. We got to keep it
Yeah,
realistic. It's a long, long season. Yeah. But yeah, like you say, the momentum kind of starting to roll a little bit there at Stamford Bridge.
yo,
Thought
huge
it
game.
was. So yeah, I remember saying in the preview for this one, we were talking about it that it was going to be all about heart, Chelsea, all about that energy, and y'all
Right,
brought it.
brought it
Yep, brought it. Yeah.
from minute. It would something we haven't seen. We've seen slow starts. We've seen, yeah, they brought it. They wanted every like we said. I mean, you kind of said it. Put a full 90 minutes together is the most gelled I've seen this squad. We stayed
First time.
consistent throughout the
First time
game.
you done that.
We stayed consistent even after the goal. We stuck to a game plan for a full 90.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you think that obviously it helped that Milan were poor; they weren't as good as we've seen them. But do you
Right.
think that your game kind of didn't allow them to play theirs, like that your quality kind of made them look a little bit bad?
Well, I think it's I'm going to be a little bit biased towards it. I don't think Milan thought we were going to come out firing.
Right? That lineup was really attacking,
Right.
really attacking.
I think they underestimated that. And because it worked right off the bat, the players bought in immediately and they were on it. They were on,
Yeah.
they were, so with both of those being in Chelsea's favor and having home field advantage, which we'll get to, um, I think all three of those, Milan just was kind of shell shocked there for a minute. And
Yeah.
by the time they got to where they could put anything together, they were on their heels.
Yeah, I mean, what if you're not going to mark Thiago Silva on 3 consecutive corner
Three
kicks?
consecutive, right? And then when they
You're going to
do
get
mark him,
punished.
they leave my man wide open.
Well, he won the header anyway, even
Right.
though yeah, I mean, he
Yeah.
got all 3 of them. He was the first person to touch the ball in all 3 of those, and
Yeah.
I love Jamie Carragher on the Paramount analysis. He was talking about that's a goal that I would have scored. That's my kind of goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Jared. Okay,
Yeah.
Jamie.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. We love the enthusiasm, but let's
Yeah.
pump the brakes there on that when he got excited about it. Too
Yeah.
bad that Fafana went down.
And I actually just read something. I really hope it's not just smoke and mirrors, kind of like what I thought we did with James. Apparently, it's a knee. It's not as bad. It's supposed to be weeks, not months.
Well, I mean
It's
that's I
still a
mean that's
huge hole that we
he was good.
scrambled.
I thought he's been improved.
We scrambled to fill that position so fast right before deadline. Like that was something we had to have in this squad. My biggest thing now is I know he's old, but Aspilicueta has to step up and be ready to play a full 90. Has to.
I mean, I think he's going to be able to do that. I just don't know if we're going to see, the 2012, 20
No,
16 Aspilicueta.
no, absolutely not.
Way
I think
more,
it's
you
just.
know.
I think it's just we're gonna have.
That's
We're
why he
not.
hasn't been starting, you know. It's
Oh yeah.
age. It's just
Oh yeah. It's
age.
age. 100%.
Straight up.
It's. I don't know who's on the bench that's gonna.
Cuckoo.
James isn't gonna
I mean, when
sit. He's
y'all
gonna
when
play
y'all
Chilwell
playing that,
or Cuckoo on the
no,
side.
no, you're not gonna sit anybody.
No, so
He
it's.
might get in like the cups, the EFL Cup maybe.
I don't know.
Just
It's
to
just that's
just
a
to be
big
the
hole.
captain, wear the band in the EFL Cup, you know. I mean,
That's
but
just a. It's a big gap we lose. I mean, it's no doubt. It's nothing to be understated.
I mean, for me, I think if Fafana is out for a couple games, you know, I think Cuckoo. It's time for Cuckoo or Chilwell. I know they're both kind of left wing backs, but I
Right.
think Cucurella could hold down that third center back position with y'all playing that kind of back three, back
That
five
back three.
going
Right.
on. Yeah. Um, so I think he
Yeah.
could definitely. I think he could manage that. You know,
Yeah.
as long as they could. Who do you think would be able to restrain themselves more from bombing forward, Chilwell or Cucurella?
Cucurella.
Yeah, you think he'd have more
Chilwell,
discipline?
Chilwell damn near lives on that
He lives in the
baseline,
corner flag. Yeah.
on that baseline corner flag. Like
You
my
thought
man
Reece
has
James
to be
went
ready to
forward.
do a lot of running because he knows.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so we're moving into the next point, kind of Aubameyang's goal, while a given, it's 2 for 2.
I mean,
We need to get him.
You and I both know that's not. I mean, he makes it look easy. They all make those things look easy,
Yep.
but it's not. It's not. That's a tough one. And I'll be the first to say I hate Yachty. I hate Aubameyang. I'm not a. But
I'm not a
he
fan
needed
either.
that. It's it's another goal in succession, a part of that
Yep.
momentum. That's
Yep.
always good for a striker, and y'all really, really need somebody to have that continuity.
Right.
So I think it's massive. I think it
Yep.
cannot be understated that he could have whiffed it. We've seen some we've seen
Had it
some
been Raheem
special
Sterling,
ones.
we might have whiffed it. Like missing
Yeah.
sitters,
Well, I
missing
mean,
sitters.
there was another one in that was arguably a lot harder for Sterling to finish, and he wasn't able to do it. But I mean, Holland is gonna smash that one.
Smash it. I
Just
mean,
gonna
Reece James can do it. Speaking of smashing goal, like, bro, ice beam, no
Reece
chance. Just
James, man,
just
had
Reece James
he
did.
had a great game, and not even
Great game.
just his goal. He
Yep.
and I mean, even though he had a great game, he's still so casual.
Man of the match.
He's still
Yeah.
just like, no, I might run after this one. Oh, it's gonna run free. Oh, I got this. When he's on it, it's like okay, he
Yeah.
decided to wake up there for a second. But yeah, like I said in the notes, I'll go ahead and shut all that down. If he keeps playing like that, y'all got that right side locked down for sure.
Lockdown. Yep. Yep.
Wonderful assist for Aubameyang. He got that
Yep.
assist, and then shades of Landon Donovan 2010. That's immediately what I thought. I was like, he's gonna smash this himself. He's not gonna cut that back to the puck. I was like, all
Right.
right,
All right.
okay,
All right.
okay. And then his celebration when they get the camera in his face, he's just like, I'm Reece James.
Oh yeah, I would be. I'd be
I'd be all over that. I would be
all over
screaming
it.
that.
All
Yeah.
over it.
Oh my god. But
All over
yeah,
it.
I got the feeling that you're trying to give him the for the badge man of the match week. I know you're biased, but I mean, hey, I mean he's got a fantastic game, best game of the season for him for sure.
While he had a really good game, it's actually, I would love to give it, obviously, for Chelsea. If I'm gonna give one to a Chelsea player, Reece James, absolutely flawless game. But while I was watching it and seeing what you were saying, like the way he comes, he's never panicked. He's never like he doesn't have that angst to him or that.
Yeah.
While I think he had a poor game, I truly think Tremori had all the hustle and heart for Milan in that game. He was the only one down 3, still
Yeah.
almost taking people's heads off. Like,
I mean, you
I
can see
love
the
to see
pieces
that
are
in a player.
there. You can see the pieces are there for Milan, and they've
Right.
definitely done well. That's why I think it's going to be a whole different game next week.
Yeah. Right.
Um,
I mean, I would love to see that Chelsea squad firing the way it would with a true Milan firing the way it should. Like, I want to see them. I want to
yeah,
see
I
a
mean
better game.
that might be a shootout. That might be a 3-3, 4-3 game
Yeah.
if everyone's getting after it. I mean,
And it's funny.
Rafa Leao's so good, man. He's huge. He's
Right.
huge. He's fast. He's strong. He can dribble.
Yep. But yeah, the Wolves are absolutely going to get smacked on Saturday. As we move down.
Man, I really hope that
Wolves are
Diego
going to get
Costa
smacked.
comes back.
I hope he
Man,
gets one. Like, that'd be awesome. Like, I hope it's a 2 or 3-1. We're ahead. Diego gets an easy sitter.
is
Just
it too mean
bring it
of
back
me
to
to
Madrid.
say? Is it too mean of me to say that I'm just gonna be so happy to see if Wolves come in and Diego just manhandles everybody, and it's a shambles for you
It's
guys.
just a shambles. Oh my.
I don't want it. I don't want it, but I won't be mad.
I mean, the man's a brute. He's always been a brute.
Yeah, he's looking a little bit. He's looking a little bit like Ronaldo in 06, the 06 World Cup, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god.
You
No,
know,
you're not wrong. Yeah, the man's looking like
He's playing FIFA a month ago. So
right. My man's looking like a 2018 Eden Hazard, just just chilling.
one too many beers after the game,
Yeah,
though.
just
Should laid off of that.
oh
I guess he
man.
didn't know. I guess he didn't think he was getting another contract in the Premier League at least.
Nah, nah, that man. Um,
I
as we
guess I
move,
will.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Liverpool Rangers. I mean,
This
easy
was an
win for
interesting
Liverpool.
game.
Yep.
I watched the highlights twice actually to help with my notes, and obviously I listened to a bunch of the analysis from the guys on Paramount. I don't know. We'll start with the free kick. Beautiful,
Yeah.
excellent free kick. But we know that Trent has that.
Right.
We know that he's definitely got that in the locker, and a lot of people are saying like, oh, in your face, all the critics can whatever, and it's like, oh. Yeah, I don't know. Still
I
a little
love.
bit suspect.
I love the
In
hype that's going on with Trent Alexander because Reece James's name is right next to it every conversation.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
saw
it's
an
fun.
article from
Fine.
ESPN today that were
Yeah.
directly comparing the two.
Yeah. No, I mean, while I think Reece James is while Trent or Alex while Trent Alexander Arnold is jeez. While while
Waffle.
what's kerfuffle, while he is one of the best at the position, no doubt, they're going to do this constantly. And I think Reece James is just firing better than Trent is right now. That may change. And it can change because they have the caliber. It's a hard choice to pick between the two. In a lineup, I think I would just move one to the left, tell him to suck it up because now I have two of you.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're gonna have to figure it out because you're both playing.
I would say play Alexander Arnold on the left
Yeah,
so he can cut in.
yeah. But Reece James is having he's
But the problem with that is Alexander Arnold doesn't get back enough. Reece James may sort of
I'll
sometimes
get back.
gets back enough.
Yeah.
But if they're both gonna be marauding way forward, what are the forwards for England gonna do? Like it's gonna be the same as at Chelsea, where no one there's so much they're
There's
jammed
so
in
much.
there because James and Alexander Arnold are so far
Yep.
forward.
But
Yeah, I don't know.
the pen being the other goal in the game. Like I said, I mean Liverpool. It's not like they took it away easy. I mean I'll give them the free kick. It's 1-0. I don't see
Yeah.
the
That was
Rangers.
7 minutes deep too. That
Yeah,
was
I
at
don't.
the end of the game.
I don't see the Rangers. All right, I watched the highlights for this one. I didn't watch it twice. I just glanced over them for this. I just didn't see the Rangers challenging that in this game.
I mean, the rain. I don't really know much. I'm not gonna say that I know much about the Glasgow Rangers, but I thought they gave it a go. I thought, I didn't think that they laid down at all. I definitely thought
Yep.
they played for the badge, as it were.
Yeah.
Um, Had a couple of good looks themselves, but
I love the notes. Jeez. No, Darwin Nunez does not understand what Jurgen Klopp is speaking.
yeah.
Oh
Oh
man.
yeah.
No, he's lost. He's like, I just gotta score goals. Like
That's the
that's
funniest thing. That's like so funny to me.
when he speaks, I don't
I
understand.
don't understand, and I have to ask my teammates later on. It's like, okay, yeah. Let's take a moment. Let's take a moment here to talk about how these managers who have been in England forever.
Forever.
How long has Klopp and Guardiola and Arteta even been in England,
Yeah.
and y'all still can't speak English?
Right.
Like y'all still sound like it's you're just off the boat. Come on, no wonder Nunez. He could be speaking Spanish, and Nunez would have been.
Nunez still wouldn't understand him.
Uh, guys, does he what?
My thing is who's he asking? Like
Yeah,
who's
that's the question. Who? Yeah, who? What? He says teammates. Who does he go up to? He goes Diogo Jota, another person is straight Portuguese.
right?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Oh man.
Oh man.
And then
Yeah,
and
dude.
then there's the thing like if like say he asked Jordan Henderson, what if nobody can understand him?
Right.
Can he speak English? Yeah, he can't understand it apparently. I mean, again,
It's just it's just a
I don't know
blind
how
leading the way,
Jurgen
man.
Klopp,
Yeah.
maybe he needs to take another couple of English lessons, but
Yeah. I mean,
no, Klopp's the least of them. It's Pep Guardiola for me, the guy that like, how do you still sound like that? You've been in England for how long? I mean, sure, he probably speaks Spanish at home,
yeah.
but how many? I know Holland doesn't know Spanish. You think Holland knows Spanish?
No.
So
No.
Foden,
Might
you
know
think Phil
German.
Foden knows Spanish?
Might know German.
He's from Norway. What's up?
No, but he played in Borussia for
Yeah, that's true. He did play in Dortmund. He might know German. I'm sure Pep does.
oh, I'm sure Pep knows some German, has to.
Yeah,
Because you know them boys didn't speak Spanish. I don't see
right.
Bastian Schweinsteiger learning Spanish. Like, sorry about you.
Schweinsteiger.
Right.
Oh man, I was a fan. I was a
Oh, dude.
fan, man.
Talk about
I
for
was
the
a fan.
badge player, man. Yeah.
I still
Um,
remember. I still remember the third place game of the '06 World Cup where he hit two thunderbolts versus Uruguay.
Thunder. Yeah.
That was those third place games are always crazy, but yeah, I honestly think that maybe this game will give Liverpool a boost. I,
Not what they
I think
need.
Mo Salah gets Mo Salah converts the pin. And by the way, if I win a penalty, I don't care
Yeah.
what I don't care what the coach says. I don't care that it's a professional team. I don't care what the coach says. I won that penalty. I'm gonna sink it. Like, I understand there's a designated penalty taker and whatever. I just don't think that anybody is that much better than anybody on a professional level on a professional team at penalties. You know, it's how much more quality can you
Can you
get?
have can you have from the spot? Right.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. If Harry Kane's on the pitch, you take Harry Kane. Sure, I understand that. Yeah.
They do. Yeah, it's I understand it. I mean, if they go into it way more than I think they need to. It's just percentages. They go into like taken for club, taken at spot, taken versus keeper. Like
I
yeah.
mean, who? I mean,
I agree though. If I go down,
I
that
want the
was
ball. I want.
you
Yeah.
trusted. Here's my thing about that. You trusted me enough to give me the through ball to put me one on one with the keeper, but you don't trust me enough to sink the shot that you put me through for. That's my shot. That you
Yeah.
gave that to me. I'm the one that made the
Not to
run.
mention he did a little
Oh yeah.
dink, little cut catch and got past the guy in the box. It was beautiful. Yeah, I'm grabbing the ball. I'm not even Salah
Oh, I'm
walks
grabbing
in
the
for the
ball.
ball.
No,
I'm
yeah.
like, nope,
Well, I'm
no
even
way.
I'm even looking at Mo right then and there. I'm gonna be like, "Are you gonna take it from me?"
Nope.
Nope. I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna line up. You can sub me out right after I sink this. Like,
They're
and if I miss, I'm just gonna walk to the bench. Like, you can just put a player on. I'm
just
just
hook
gonna.
me. if I miss it, I miss it, and that was my shot.
I
Just
missed
hook
it.
it. Just
Right.
hook me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal have a great chance against this Liverpool side on Sunday, but we'll get to that. Last
Yeah.
Premier League team in the Champions League, the Spurs were away to Frankfurt. Not an
Yep.
easy place to go. I think it's a smaller stadium. I actually watched some of this game. The commentators were saying it's a smaller place and it's loud. It's really but I mean again, the same old approach from Conte. Is it stubborn at this point? I mean, the results have faltered.
What are they in their group?
They're third, I'm pretty sure.
Here, I'm about to
Got
pull
it.
up the group. But yes,
Second,
no.
actually. Well, they're tied. They're tied for second. With that group is wide open.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ours is too.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good result in the other game for you guys. Would have been
Huge.
better if that goal would have stood and it would have been a tie, but
Huge for the
still,
group.
it was a good result.
Ooh, that group is wide open. 6-4-4-3.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But this one was a little
Wow.
bit sloppy, I thought, in this game, to be honest with you, man. Frankfurt should have won. Tottenham could have won.
Yeah.
All it needed was a little bit of quality in front of goal, which you don't expect Spurs to not have. A little bit weird. Son went back to being a little bit sloppy. I mean, I thought in the moments, in the flashes they had on Sunday, Saturday, whenever that was, they were a touch sloppy, but I thought they still looked dangerous. They always do, but lacking that. Is it a little bit of confidence? You think some of the players are maybe like not feeling the way they're playing?
I mean, it is. I mean, you kind of touched on this when I think you texted it to me. The difference between what Mao was trying to do, most of
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
players are still there, versus what Conte is trying to do. But while the differences are minute, I don't think that these guys are having a problem with the way they're being played. I think it's truly just an execution problem. Harry Kane's not. Harry Kane cannot be the mule or the workhorse for that squad for this long without needing help.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
no matter how good he is, and still the quality, and it's not like he's old, but
Ain't
it's
young either.
right. But you can only do fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Like people know what the game plan is here. They know what
Yeah.
to do against Harry Kane. They know well he's still gonna get his goals. He's gonna gobble them up. He's a good striker. That's why. But I think now we're running into this situation, kind of like what Van Dijk was running into now. Van Dijk doesn't look as good because now we know. We know what the
Yeah.
tendencies are. We know we've watched film. We've gotten to watch 180 games. How you didn't. How you went 60 games without letting someone get a run by you. Now we know.
Yeah.
And those players aren't. Those players are trained from day one. Once they figured out, they watch tape. They figured out. They train. Like that. These are millions of dollars at stake. And I think it's just people. I think it's just that. It's with Tottenham being this roughly the same, Pete, we can line up against them the same. All we have to do is make these minute adjustments because Conte is just, I think, like I said, I think he's laying off of possession a little bit more and wanting to hit. And all we have to do is mark Harry Kane, find Harry Kane, unless
Well, it's
someone's gonna
interesting. Yeah. I mean,
someone's
it's
gonna hit a
interesting.
banger.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Exactly like you're saying. Do you think that maybe they were a little bit surprised to have so much of the ball?
Yeah. I mean that was kind of like it's like hot potato. It looked like in that game.
Yeah, because
Like
Frankfurt liked to hit on the break too. They like to
right.
sit and counter as well. So
Yeah.
it was an interesting one, but I thought to make the point that Where's the center attacking midfield player? Where's the Martin Odegaard? Where's the Kevin De Bruyne? Who's doing that in this team? There isn't anybody. Like you were just saying, Kane can only do so much.
Right.
And Højbjerg and Bentancur in the middle. I mean,
I think that's what they're lacking. It's
Yeah.
they're lacking a
they need
core.
somebody to connect to the attack.
It's the
instead of
same.
just
It's
trying
it's
to.
roughly the same thing that we're still struggling with a little bit, but Potter has a little bit more gel now inside the squad with these players, to where it kind of looks like we haven't changed that much.
No, but you're
It
starting to
just kind of
figure it
looks
out.
like
You're
it's
starting to
working.
figure out what he wants.
Right.
And something I did want to mention actually about that game. There was one where y'all won a big second ball because, like I said in the last one, y'all like to do these diagonal balls down the wings. But Sterling wins a second ball, and y'all are on him really, really fast, trying to play that intricate stuff. And I'm like, hey man, they're starting to understand what he wants. And
Yeah.
I mean, it looked. I mean, obviously it's not Arsenal style. It's not something that I'm. But it looked purposeful. It looked like they knew exactly what they were doing. I think that's good, and that's not something you're seeing from Spurs. They don't
Right.
really.
Right.
Their whole purpose is to maybe it's almost Paris-esque. Pass it to the Italians and let them do something.
Just let them do something. Yeah.
But as good as Kane, Son, and Kulusevski or Richarlison are, they're not Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe.
No. But I do think if they play anywhere remotely to that, Brighton's going to absolutely smack the Spurs, which is going to be so awesome to watch. Like I really hope Brighton takes.
I saw when I
Really
was
hope
reading
Brighton
about
takes.
when I was reading about the new Brighton coach,
Yeah.
it said that his style was a heavy metal possession at Sassuolo style in
Okay.
Italy, and based on the way they came out at Anfield, don't they better be careful, man.
Oh yeah.
They better be careful because they could get smacked. They could get
Smack.
absolutely smacked in
Yep.
this one.
Yep.
And
I love, I love the I love the last please let them goals poop on the peak. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you got to put it in there. I'm
Yeah, man.
I'm obviously biased.
No, I
I'm
mean
gonna be
I hate.
cheering
I
for
think.
every
Oh,
Spurs opponent this season
well,
if I can.
absolutely, you have to. If there's one, sorry, Spurs fans, but yeah, there's one thing that I'm not. There's certain lines that I won't cross.
Yeah,
That's one
these
of them.
colors don't run,
Yeah,
man.
Manchester, them, United. Yeah,
We
no,
hate United for a different reason, but
yeah,
Spurs is
right,
just on principle at this
right.
point.
Yeah, I mean it's sad to see, but Everton, once a huge rival. It's hard. It's hard to look over and be like, yeah, let's. I hope Frankie doesn't burn over there.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on to the Europa League.
There it is. Yeah,
Arsenal heading
Bodo,
to Bodo Glimt.
Bodo.
I remember hearing this that one of the things the commentators said the population of the town of Bodo Glimt, which by the way is in the Arctic Circle, is less than the capacity of the Emirates Stadium.
Okay.
Everyone that lives in that town could fit in the Emirates.
Wow.
Uh,
Talk about a place to go play, bro. Let's sign up.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go play for Bodo.
Let's go play. Hey, let's do it,
We
man.
can get in the Europa League. Are you kidding me?
Oh, it's so
Go
cold.
Bodo.
So cold.
So cold. Oh, I
So
wouldn't
cold.
last. I'm no,
Oh,
I'm
God.
this big. I would freeze and get my entire shin snapped in half.
But I think this was another example of Arsenal just continuing to do what they do. Again, it's good to see
Yep.
this continuity, this momentum. Even though there were 7 changes, only Gabriel and Xhaka and Martinelli retained their place from the weekend. Had the American in goal. Matty Turner gets a start. That's good
Yeah.
to see. Even though I must say he did look a little shaky with the ball at his feet. He's no Aaron Ramsdale, but he did start both of the USA's games in the international break there. So good to
Yeah.
see him getting some minutes. Stuff. Had a couple of good saves. So bad game. There was so much good to talk about in this game. We were
Yeah.
played so well that I want to start with just a little bit of nitpicking just to get it out of the way. I thought Granit Xhaka had a couple of moments that were very old Granit Xhaka-esque. Called a stupid yellow at
Okay.
one point.
Yeah.
Thought in the first 30 minutes we had this kind of attitude where it was almost like it's Bodo, we're gonna win this.
We're gonna win. Right. I mean, I felt like y'all came out the gate treating this with that. You could feel that that
Yeah,
was that was emanating from them. But I do think that it was treated again, maybe even by Arsenal as a whole. This looked very scrimmage-esque to me.
yeah. But I did think that 30 minutes
With
in,
the same game plan in place, it just looked
yeah,
like, all right, hey, this is what we do. We don't deviate from the plan. We don't deviate from this process we've created. What we do is we're going to implement, some other guys. We're going to give them some playing time. We're not going to go, balls to the wall on everything. No one needs to get hurt. Let's stick to the plan. It's going to work. We're going to walk away with a win, whether it's in the 17th or the 90th.
yeah.
It'll happen for us, but we're not, this isn't one to, this isn't one of those.
That's a really interesting line to try, to try to, toe there because, yes, it's professionalism to want to stay healthy and to want,
Right.
be able to get through a game that we should be winning and do win, but also,
Right.
have no negative effects, no one gives a knock or anything. But then on the other side, the rules in the Europa League and the Champions League this season are such that it is paramount. It's so big to win the Europa League group because your second place teams in Europa
Right.
League are
Is
playing
the
third
third,
place Champions League
right.
teams.
You can end up
And
playing Barcelona.
with
Right.
and with these groups, like I was gonna mention that Copenhagen kind of got a rough draw, even though Victoria Pleasant really got a rough draw. But still, Sevilla Dortmund City is no. That's not a that's a
It's not
tough
a
group.
no. It's no right.
And to think that we could see Tottenham, we could see Chelsea, we could see Barcelona, we could see Inter Milan, we could see Dortmund, Sevilla. Like, oh my God, So it's crucial, absolutely crucial to win the group. Even though, yes, PSV and Bodo and
Do you?
Zurich.
I feel like that's an unfair. Honestly, I feel like that's an unfair shake for these
Yeah,
Champions
that's
League teams because even to get into the Champions League itself is so prestigious. It's supposed to be this is the best of the best. Then if you lose, you lose. You're out. If you don't win your group, you're out. If you
I
lose the round of
agree.
16, you're out.
I agree
Like
100%.
and you don't there is no you should not be able to go to the Europa because the Europa is completely designed to build these clubs back into
Back
the
into
Champions
Champions
League.
League.
You made the Champions League already. You don't need
You
help. You
had your
just
shot.
you
Yeah.
just messed up. You just didn't show up. You just or weren't good enough. You got a bad draw. You got to play Bars. You got to play City, Borussia, and like
Yeah, in Sevilla. Yeah.
in Sevilla. It's like yeah. So it's I don't think that they need any of that extra help because it's not if Barcelona goes down, they don't need it. If we go down, if God forbid we go down, we don't need it. We can make Champions League. We should make Champions League. And if we don't, guess what? Send us back to the Europa. We'll win it again. We'll end up back in Champions League and we'll win it again, just like we have done for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
That's the way it was designed. There shouldn't be a let's saving grace or let's put them down here so they can absolutely mop the floor with a team
Yeah.
who they don't even deserve to be playing. Barcelona shouldn't be in their Europa. Like y'all shouldn't be in the Europa this year. Y'all have too much quality. That's why it just
Well,
throws a
see,
wrench.
we're different. We're different because we're in a rebuild process. We need to earn it again.
Right, right. You were where we were
Barcelona,
5 years ago. If you earn it, you get back in. You'll do well in the league. You should be 4 or 5. It's not like you won't see Europe
yeah.
again.
With this start, Champions League is lowest standard.
Right.
That's the have to.
I would agree.
Even with this start, if we don't make Champions League,
Right.
he might get the sack. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's time. It's
It's
time.
right. I would agree 110%. I think y'all have it. I think y'all, like you said, I think it's you're putting the pieces together, and that's why I like to see the Europa League, man. That's why I mean, when we got sent down, I was kind of down about it. I was like, oh, this is Europa League. It sucks. to watch us fight and claw our way through games that we knew we should have won on
It's
paper,
still
and
a
to
European trophy.
oh,
It's still
absolutely.
a huge
You
thing.
you don't show up in a podunk town of Greece and you get smacked.
Yeah.
Like,
You
yeah,
go to Zurich and take a loss. Yeah.
right, smacked. Like, yeah,
Or Cyprus.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll get to that.
right,
But like you say, we're starting to put the pieces together, and these European campaigns really test the squad depth. And I thought
right,
that, like you said, yes, it seemed a bit scrimmage-esque. We were able to do a couple of different things. I thought Eddie Nketiah looked really sharp at times. There were, like, he missed a couple, but he always misses a couple. But he seems to score nearly every time he starts. And it's kind of not impressive to say that because he doesn't start so long. He never gets consecutive starts,
yeah,
but he he's got 7 goals in his last 9 starts, maybe in the EFL or the FA or Europa League. But when Jesus comes on for the subs, they left Jesus out wide on the left and left Nketiah up top, which I thought was good. I thought that was cool. And something I didn't note that they also did, speaking of kind of trying stuff out, they left Odegaard and Vieira in together. So that was interesting what we did with the lineup. And then when Reece Nelson comes on, it's good to see Reece Nelson back as well. When he comes on, Jesus moved back into the middle.
yep,
Nelson's definitely a winger, but it's good to see him get a little bit of time. Well, that's kind of touching on that squad depth. We have it
right,
this season. You know, this was 7, but although we do have it, we did send in the our subs were Saka, Odegaard, Jesus.
yeah,
So the A team came back on. We don't really have like 4 unless we
right.
reach into the
Well, that you
teenagers.
got to
So
keep them. You can't. You got to. There's a like you kind of touched on it when we started all of it with this particular topic. There's a fine line there. Like you got to keep these guys firing. You got to keep them healthy. You got to keep them on the plan. You can't
mm-hmm.
with that momentum. It's kind of been the motif.
Yeah,
Um, it's with that you got to keep these players firing, right? You got to keep Jesus on.
because there's Liverpool at the weekend.
Right, right,
Massive,
exactly. And going into that, I think that's a massive game for y'all. It's a
massive
massive
game.
test. I I want to see. I
I think
want to.
Liverpool will be better than Spurs were. I think it's going to be a
It's,
tougher game against Spurs, but I still think we could do a 3-1. I still think we could. I still think
mm,
we have it in us to control this game. And again, like if it's just more of the same, it's just so. I haven't been able to say that in like who
yeah,
knows how long as a Arsenal fan. Just keep bringing that same intensity. I definitely think we have what it takes this time. That fear factor that Liverpool normally have against us is gone. That's out the window.
right.
And I think we could definitely
It's.
find some success here against
I think it's
Liverpool.
definitely the
Although,
game. That'd be my like game of the week to watch. It's the one I'm
well,
most excited about moving forward. I
well, it's
think it.
interesting on Sunday, they're all staggered, but there's 4. It's 9, 11:30, and 2. Or no, there's 3. Yeah, so there's a 9:30, I think there's a 7:30 too. So there might be 4 games on Sunday. Uh,
Wow.
but Arsenal's at 11:30, but then Man U Everton's at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I want Everton to take.
Oh
That would
man,
be awesome.
of
That would
course.
be
Oh
awesome.
God,
I
I'd
love
love
seeing
to
the
see
dumpster fire,
Frank
man. I think this is a
Lampard.
perfect segue. Actually, I love
Yeah.
seeing the dumpster fire at Man U.
Oh, who doesn't?
It's oh
Who
yeah,
doesn't?
honestly, I was worried about the karma there for a minute because I love watching them burn.
Speaking of karma, that's why we hate Man U is because Man U fans get
Right.
so excited.
Oh man. Right.
It that's why over the years, when Arsenal fell off and United kind of, ran the league for so long, it's just
Yeah.
oh, it hurts so much and just to
Oh,
have to hear
absolutely.
it all the
Burnt.
time,
Burnt.
and now that they're struggling mightily, it's good to see.
Yeah. Frustrated Ronaldo. Talk about a frustrated Ronaldo. You can tell it's in his head. I don't think it's. It
more
might have a little
highlights on. There was 5 goals in that game. There were more Ronaldo misses on the highlight reel than goals.
Right.
It's odd that they did that, but I mean, I get it. I get it. Ronaldo is sensationalism incarnate.
Right. It sells.
But yeah, I almost feel bad for him. To be honest with you,
He shouldn't have
almost.
went.
Almost.
I don't know why he chose United. That just does not, even with United where they were, even with where they were,
Where he got his
I
break, man.
don't
Alexander
know
didn't
why
I get
he
it.
chose United.
He probably still loves the club. Probably still has a spot for the club.
Not anymore. Like, did you not learn from Paul Pogba? Like,
I don't know. It's probably a little bit different than Pogba. I feel like Ronaldo just wants to win that World Cup, man. He just wants to be in the World Cup. He just always wants to be scoring goals. That's just
yeah.
that's just been the hunger that's defined his career. That's why he's so good. I mean, talk about it in. I read Tim Howard's biography. He was talking about when he was there. Ronaldo was always the first one on at the training ground, always the last one to leave, and that's the hunger that's gotten him,
Yeah.
699 goals.
Well, I'm not taking anything away from him. Like I said, contention for the GOAT. I think whoever, if one of them pulls away at the World Cup,
Man, if we see a Portugal Argentina final,
we can. Yeah,
Woo!
we can.
Oh God, it would be so
So
epic.
dude, imagine this. Imagine this. The stage is set. Portugal, Argentina. It goes down to PKs. Ronaldo, Messi at the 5-5.
One of them scores.
And one of them scores,
Yeah,
and the other one doesn't.
And there's the argument. There it is. Done.
Done. Because
There's-
the other one has to line up to watch if the other one scored or not. The stage is set, bro. You couldn't write it in a book any better than what could happen.
And yeah, that would be epic. I'm getting chills at how
Epic.
that
Epic.
might go down as this World Cup, because everybody's so even. It has the potential to be one of the greats that we witnessed.
Just a dogfight.
But we'll actually get back to Ronaldo. United's game against. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you try this one. Yeah, go for it, man.
Cyprus.
So Cyprus is the country. That's where they're from.
Right.
Team is from.
Armenia, Nicosia.
Yeah, we'll go with that one. We'll go with that. Yeah, I'm not sure, but Mix Diskerud. You remember Mix Diskerud, right? He played for USA a few years ago. He was mainly MLS. He jumped around in smaller clubs in Europe. He was on the U.S. squad for a spell. You don't remember Mix Diskerud?
Uh-uh.
I hadn't heard his name in.
Right.
I haven't heard this guy. I didn't even
Just
know
in the
he
locker,
was
forgotten
alive.
about.
I didn't
Just
even know he
right.
was still
Still kicking.
And he starts for Oimonia. Yeah, that's it.
Oimonia. Okay.
Oimonia, yeah. I didn't even realize he was I didn't watch all of this one either. I watched a little bit of it. I didn't realize he was in the game until he got subbed out.
Oh shit.
They're like, oh, Mixed Diskerud coming out. I was like,
Oh
whoa, who? Wait a minute.
Wait.
What?
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. You pull out the Google.
That there was some really poor defending game. It must be said. I know that City are incredible and Foden is incredible.
Yeah.
And Holland is incredible, obviously, blah blah blah. But Malacia was just really bad in this game, just like in the game against City. Took him off at halftime. He was suspect. I mean, he was at fault for the first goal. He gave the ball away, and they just countered down the field.
You can't do that.
Yeah, it was bad. He was not good. They are down 1-0 at halftime. They yanked him and they took off Jadon Sancho and Malacia for Rashford and Martial. And those two probably, though, obviously had the best game in a red
Right.
shirt. Uh, but it was a salvage job. It was a save. They had to come on to down 1-0 away in Cyprus. That's just it's worrying, really
Right.
worrying for you.
Yeah.
Which gives us hope. Gives us a lot of hope going into the game on Sunday at Everton. Like we've
By
mentioned,
Frankie. Yep.
yeah, like we've mentioned, Connor Cody and Tarkovsky there becoming a really good center back partnership.
Right.
Or,
Yeah,
uh,
definitely have a defensive front to be I don't think if they play as sloppy against Everton, it's gonna be a grind.
be a close
It's
game, yeah. I
Yep.
think Alex Iwobi will give you what we know he always gives you, that
Oh,
energy.
absolutely.
It'll be interesting to see his approach because he went with Casemiro against Cyprus, the Cyprus team, um, but McTominay against City. And maybe that was because I don't know. That's interesting. You'd think it would be the other way around,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, but who knows? It'll be interesting to see what he deploys against Everton. How much kind of it feels like if he plays McTominay, he's thinking they're going to be on the ball and moving forward, and if he plays Casemiro, maybe they'll be a little bit more defensive, which is how I guess that's how I think it looks. That's
It's yeah.
obviously not what Ten Hag is thinking, you know,
I don't know. At
because
this point, we
because
don't
he did the complete opposite. He did the complete opposite.
never let them know your next move, man. Like like
Yeah, I mean, I guess that we don't know what this, but you don't know what
but
to
but
expect from
but
United these
at this
days.
point, does Ten Hag know what Ten Hag's doing? Like Manchester United's just not.
Move
It's
over,
bad.
Bully Shore.
It's bad. Oh, I am.
You know?
I mean,
Oh
Bully's
man.
kind of quieted down
Well, he
recent.
hired a footballing director.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, they hired. They're about to get RB Leipzig's footballing director.
Yeah,
Or if y'all haven't signed him already, that's like happening soon.
happening. Yeah,
So yeah, he can kind of y'all can hopefully.
run the ship.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully. But yeah, I think that uh Everton have an opportunity here, man.
yeah.
I think if Frankie can come out with a win at that one, in that one, their season will really be. I think they'll really be.
They'll be safe.
Yeah, they'll
They'll be
be.
safe.
It'll just kind of cap this little bit of resurgence they're having. Looking a little bit better with their performances, defending better. If they can get this win at home, it'll be massive. Absolutely. But we'll take a quick look at some of the other fixtures. We got Bournemouth versus Leicester in what? Oh man, I won't be watching this one. I might watch the I
No.
might watch the replay maybe, depending on what the score is. This one could be another just drab 0-0 like the Brentford game versus Bournemouth.
I mean, yeah.
Again, I feel like the only reason Leicester were so good against Forest was that they didn't have to defend much. And I think Bournemouth might offer them a little bit more. So this one could be a slog through the mud.
I think if and it's funny because we're just waiting. Like everyone's kind of on this edge of their seat. If Leicester loses to Bournemouth, like is it the
If
axe?
Bournemouth, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. It's like
We're waiting.
he's playing for his job every single game. Okay,
Like
you beat Forest,
unless they line up against City or y'all, like us now,
man.
maybe Brighton. Like how excusable is losing to Bournemouth right now at Leicester?
Not,
Right,
not. It's just
and it
not.
can happen. And it can happen.
Yeah, that's not.
Right.
One that's looking a little bit more spicy, at least I think, is Newcastle versus Brentford.
Yeah.
Newcastle at home, that's going to be tough for Brentford, especially if they don't pick it up from last week. Although it must be said they were a little bit unlucky at times versus Bournemouth. Also lucky to not give a pin, but I think away to Newcastle, it's going to be really tough. Newcastle can counter and break really, really fast. So if they don't win the second balls versus
Yeah.
Newcastle, they might ship some goals.
Right. Newcastle might have an easy weekend if it gets out of hand like that.
Yeah, I mean, they won't have as easy a weekend as they had last weekend.
As they had last week.
Let's just hope no one gets sent off for
7 minutes in, or 5 minutes, 7 minutes in. No.
too early. Yeah, too early. So we move to Sunday. Palace plays
Yep.
Leeds. Leeds at
Palace
Palace.
Leeds.
That's going to be a good one. That's going to be an interesting prospect. Two evenly matched teams.
Both needing a win right now.
Yeah. Winless in 4 for both of them, actually. I'm looking at it right here. Winless in the last 4 for both.
Both needing a win right now.
I think this one could be another. Could be another real defensive game where 1-0. I would give. I think Palace need it more. To be honest with you, Palace need the game a bit more. So, maybe Zaha pops up for a 1-0. And then another game that I actually have not looked if Mitrovic is okay or not. Fulham are away to West Ham.
Yeah.
And if Mitrovic is in, it could be a spicy one. Could be a good game. Could be definitely a good game. West Ham are doing a lot better. 4 wins in 5. So that could be a tough. Without Mitrovic, that could be really tough for Fulham. I think West Ham might just edge it. And then the only other one we haven't looked at is a really important Nottingham Forest.
Yep.
I think Stevie G is gonna look at this one like, oh yeah, he's gonna
be
chops.
Yep.
So he can just go out
turkey
like
leg.
Always doing bulldoze people and
bulldoze.
Then hopefully Ollie Watkins can find a couple of goals. Yeah, I just think Villa are gonna they're gonna rise to this opportunity. Forest just they look ripe for the picking right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it should be an easy 3 points for anybody who lines up against Forest right now. They're
Forest
negative 15 in goal difference right now. They're just sinking ship.
They've scored four goals in their last 5 games, and they've shot 18. 18. It's not good.
It's
like
not.
I say, Stevie G and the boys will be licking their chops for this one.
What the saddest thing is right now, though, is Leicester is they're even on points.
No, the win takes them up. Leicester have 4 points.
Okay, yeah. No, yeah.
Forest have 3, I think.
Jeez.
But yeah, it's not looking good. Well, that'll about do it. I'm certainly looking forward to the weekend ahead. Obviously, Arsenal Liverpool's big. Chelsea looking to gain to keep that momentum going against Wolves.
Yep.
City are probably going to cruise. But there are a couple of good ones in there. Brighton and Tottenham, Everton, United should be great. Yeah, I'm excited.
Absolutely. It's going to be a good week.
This has been the For the Badge podcast. I am Jake.
I'm Xavier.
Please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for all the updates. Check us out on social media as well at For the Badge Pod. Good night.